All right, I think I got it recording. Let's see. Okay, I see the mouse. Cool. So this here is how I have it mine set up. Um, I'll go to my spy since that we all do the spy. Basically, I'll go over what the setup is, and then I'll explain how to actually, go from a blank screen to setting these things up, these widgets up. Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. Uh, Thanks there, Gulf Pro. So down here on the left side, and the way I have it set up is because when you pull up like an options chart, normally, like if they're both call and puts, the calls are on the left side and the puts are on the right side. So I have how I have my screen set up is this big box down here is the calls. Um, this side is the puts, and in the middle, whenever I click on the call, it's going to give me the price right here. This top quote is the actual SPY price right, currently. This the top one here will be the call price, and this bottom one here is the put price. And when you click on to get that price, you can't click on the bid or ask because the way Webull set up, if you do that, it's going to try to place an order, and that's not what we're going to use. So you have to click on anything else but the green and orange, or it might be green and red on your screen. I'm not sure. Basically, you don't want to click on the bid and ask. And when you click on that, it's going to populate this chart here. And what this chart is, it's the Webull, or it's the actual SPY calls chart. It's not the SPY regular price chart, but it's the call price option chart. And vice versa, over here is the put. And then up here to the left, it's called Turbo Trader, which used to be called Active Trader. This is how I place my actual orders. And this side is linked to the call option. This side over here is linked to the put option. And how I would go about doing it, normally I'd have this set up to, 1 through 5. Right now it's set for 2. Um, so you want this quantity settings, checked. That way you don't have to each time verify it. So I usually have mine, like I said, anywhere between 1 and 5. Currently it's set at 2. And when the market opens, or before in pre-market, I'll, down here, basically the way I play calls is the in color here where it's like, looks like it's bluish on my screen. That's basically in the money options. And then this one right here is out of the money. And I usually play the very first one, at the money. Some people call it at the money, but technically this top one that's in the money can be considered at the money too. So I basically play that first option out of the money. Um, so when I click on that, it populates everything. And then again, over here with the puts, I'll click on it. Um, so whenever this, I'm ready to make my entry, what I'll do is I'll come over here. And if I'm playing the orb play, which is a momentum play, and I want to get in right away, I'll hit this buy the ask +5, and I'll go over how to set all this up. And what this buy the ask +5 would do, because how I play that orb is, once it breaks that area, I'm wanting to get in, and it's breaking with momentum. So this option price is actually going up. So if I just hit buy the ask, the price might be going up so fast that, that it might already blow past the initial ask price when I click it. So for example, if I click this right now, currently the ask price is $1.63. So if I click it at $1.63, but the price is actually moving up, it might be $1.64, $1.65, and I won't be able to buy in. It won't, because it'll put a limit order there, at 63 cents. So if it comes back, it'll fill me. How I play the orb is I want in no matter what. So I basically have um, a button that's saying I'm willing to buy the ask plus an additional 5 cents. So when I click that, If the current bid's a dollar or the current ask is $1.63, I'm willing to pay up to 168. So whenever I click this, even if it blows past this 163, say it's 164, 165, whatever it is, it's going to buy me in up to that, 68 level, up to 5 cents over it. Um, that way I know I can get in. As soon as I hit buy the ask, I hit this sell the ask at plus 25. Because on Webull, you can't mark it in. You can mark it out, but you can't mark it in on Webull. So on Webull, if you try to mark it in on SPY options, it's going to say, this is too volatile and blah, 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 blah. It gives you like a big thing and then you'll miss your entry. So this is kind of like my buy the market, so to speak. It's my workaround. But after I hit buy that ask and I'm in, I'll hit sell the ask at plus 25. And what that'll do is whenever I hit sell that ask plus 25 over here at 25 cents, so we'll say 162 is the price. When I hit sell that ask at 25 at, at 187, it's going to put a line here. That's a limit order. So if it pushes up to that line, it's going to sell me out. It'll pay up to 5 cents. So I only do that on the orb play because it's like a momentum play. Well, actually, I usually do this all the time. I use it because most of my plays when I get in are momentum plays. Um, you're just willing to buy it up to 5 cents. So whatever the price is when you actually click this button, um, it's going to buy you in at. So even though, like I said, if it says $1.63 here, but the price is moving and you're trying to get in real quick, you hit that buy the ask. If you just so happen to hit it as the price, hit 164 or 165, it'll actually buy you in at whatever price you clicked in it, and that's where it's at that particular time. Like I said, what I found out a lot about those momentum entries is when I go to hit buy this ask, if it's moving quick, it'll just put a limit order in at $1.63 because the price already moved up to like $1.65 or something else. But by this, it'll buy me in. Um, and I don't want to go too much higher than 5 cents because to me, I'll miss the move because a lot of times I'll get in and I'll be out within 15 cents, 20 cents. It all depends on how fast it moves on the chart and what the price is at the time. Um, but like I said, whenever I get in, I do this on no matter if I hit buy the ask plus 5. I always hit this sell the ask at plus 25 immediately after I get in, and that puts it here. Now, say I'm watching, because I got my trading view chart up, and we'll just say this area here, the price is coming up to it, but it's not hitting my take profit level on the chart. It's at my take profit level is actually higher. So what I'll do is I'll just drag this up. And as the price is moving up, I'm watching my trading view chart to see where my take profit is. And we'll say, the price is moving up. The price is $1.74. And we'll say it looks like my first take profit area is, that $1.80-ish level. I'll even pull it way up here, to $2. And I'm watching my trading view chart. Once the price starts getting close to my take profit, what I'll do is I'll drag this down. So for example, we'll say my take profit is like $1.64. The price is $1.62 now. I would actually have it right there. And as long as you hold your mouse, um, it's not going to sell you because, you can still move this. You're not actually dropping it. It's when you let go of your mouse and then move, you see I basically let it there. That means, okay, it's going to sell right there. So I have it to where I'm constantly be able to move it. So I'm watching the price, and as this price is going up on this chart on TradingView, I'll be watching it, and I'm kind of following the price up. Okay, I'm following up, and I'll be like, okay, that hit my profit level, and we'll just use that $1.74 since there's an actual line there. We'll say the price moved up, it hit that $1.74 level, and it pushes past it. And if you were in the chat yesterday, how I played is okay, say that's a fib line right here at this $1.74 level. I'll hold it there because I'm not going to actually, I won't drop it because if you drop it, it's going to sell you at whatever the price is at right now. Um, so we'll say the price actually pushed up. The price is $1.78. I'm still down here at $1.74 because that's my fib line. My next fib line will say is at $1.91. So I'm waiting to see how far this is going to push up. Um, it starts pulling back from that $1.78 and say, okay, I just want to get out. I'll let go of this. The price is at $1.78. I drop this at $1.74. It's going to buy me out at whatever the price is currently at because this is a limit order. So if the price is at $1.78 and it was coming down, and by the time I let go, maybe it was $1.77. It'll sell me at that $1.77 level. Uh, so that's how I do away with the slippage on a stop loss. Because if this was a stop loss order and it come back down and it pushed and it hit that $1.74, almost, well, every time I had a stop loss on Webull, it wouldn't sell me at $1.74. It would actually sell me at $1.72. I always had a 2 cent slippage stop loss. The worst case I had was four, and the price, and that was one of those, the price was moving crazy, and it was a 4 cent. So I was like, you know what, screw that. I'm going to do it this way, to where I'll just drag the price. The problem with this is, if like I'm using my mouse pad on my laptop, say my finger slips off, and I didn't want to sell because the price was continuing moving up, it's going to sell you out. So unless you have this above the price, you're good. You can drop it anywhere above the price. It's not going to sell you out. But like I said, once it hits my initial take profit area, I'm usually down there on my take profit line waiting to see if it's going to pull back, and usually I let it pull back to that line, maybe 1 or 2 cents above it, and then I'll drop it and it's good. But there's been times where I'm here waiting, the price is actually moving up and my finger slips off and I sell and it's like, oh shit, I sold. But still, you're selling with profit. It's no problem. But I miss out on some of the runs. Um, so that does happen. Um, but the good thing about it is, like I said, it eliminates the slippage for you, which is, so be it. It's just a small price I have to pay. I'd rather accidentally sell as it's going up instead of having that slippage. So I'm willing to take that risk on there. So that's how I do it. Like I said, I call it a reverse stop loss. I'm not sure what really, it's basically a limit order, but you're able to drag it and hold it underneath the area and then drop it. That's how I do my options on Webull. I think this is the easiest way. And what I used to do was whenever I had like both the buy here and or the calls here and the puts here all on one little screen, there was time, well, at least twice I made the mistake thinking I'm buying a call, but I had this highlighted. And, by the time I come up here and hit buy, it actually bought me in a put instead of a call. And I was like, son of a bitch, why is this going down? I should be in profit. And I noticed, oh shit, I bought a damn call. So this kind of eliminates that because obviously if I'm looking for calls, my mouse should be over here ready to hit buy. If I'm looking for puts, my mouth, mouth, my mouse should be over on this side. So it kind of eliminates the whole idea of accidentally clicking on a call or a put. It makes it easier to do that. Now over here on this side here, you can see where it says order confirmation. You want to make sure that's not checked, because if that's checked, anytime you hit any order, another screen, like another thing will pop up kind of like this and say, hey, do you really want to make this order? And basically by the time you hit yes, it's already moved. The price is gone. So you don't want that order confirmation on um, there. Bad side of that is if you accidentally hit one of those buttons, it's going to buy you in then. So if you're like, oh, I think I want to, you're moving it up here, getting ready to buy, and you got, fat fingered and you actually click it, it's going to buy you in even though you didn't want to buy in because you don't have that order confirmation. If you want to get out right away, and that's what this close here is. Basically, it's like a market order. Uh, on Webull, you can mark it out of your position on options. You just can't mark it in your position on options. So that's kind of like panic mode. Just hit, get the hell out. Boom. So for example, if I had that, my limit order here, let me get that line back up. So if I had that line here, and we'll say I was even ready to drop it here at this $1.52 level. This is another bad thing by doing it this way. We all know these rogue candles can happen. So we'll just say I'm up here ready to drop this if it starts pulling back. And we'll say that pullback, we've all seen it, is one of these, boom, it's down there so quick. I let go of this. It's still saying, yeah, I want to sell at $2, but the price already dropped below it. And you're like, oh shit. So then that's your whole panic, come over here and close the order before it keeps dropping. So in that case, that 2 cent slippage, it'd be like, damn it, I wish I would have just took that 2 cent slippage, instead. So it's like a give take relationship, so to speak. But that doesn't happen very often, and I'm willing to accept that risk because I would rather 2 cents adds up repeatedly. So if I have a stop loss, okay, it comes back, hits it, minus 2 cents, then my $2. So that's $2 or yeah, basically slippage wise per contract, you know. And then it's okay, I'm getting in another one. I set up a stop loss, same thing happens, it pulls back, there's another two. Well, pulls back, it slowly adds up. So I'm willing to take that risk of these rogue candles. Normally they happen, around 10 o'clock or around news time. So I usually get out before that time because I know those rogue candles can happen. Uh, but just to let you know that that does happen on those rogue candles. You'll miss the fill because you'll try to drop it and that candle moves so quick that it's like, oh shit. Now, I mean, you could try to follow it, but at the same time, I mean, what you could do is, try to follow it and just kind of drop it. Like, say, I haven't done this, but it should work the same. We'll say this rogue candle hit and I was up here. I just, would drop it way down here, but it's still going to sell you in at the current, whatever that current price is. Um, it should. It shouldn't sell you at $1.65. It should sell you at that current price. Um, but I haven't tested that out. It may sell you at $1.65 way down here, which I don't, like I said, I don't think it would because the price is actually up here. Uh, but I might have to test that just for shits and giggles on Monday to see. That way I can let you guys know because I'd rather me screw up and then you guys try it and be like, oh shit, and it screws you guys. Um, Oh, here's the ladder. Like I said, you can switch it to the ladder if you wish and use this. Um, I recently started doing the ladder on options on Tradeovate. I haven't used the option or the ladder here on Webull yet. I tried it one time with a take profit and stop loss, but at that time I couldn't drag the stop loss up past my buy-in, so I stopped doing it. Because what'll happen was, I'm like, okay, I can, already have a preset stop loss, take profit, and what I'll do is I'll just drag my stop loss up. But every time I tried to drag the stop loss up past where I bought in, it kept giving me an error. And it was just a glitch, Webull. You couldn't drag it up past where you initially bought in, which I thought was kind of stupid. So over here, you can do the same thing that I did over there with the DOM by doing already have a 25 cents. So if I wanted to buy in, I could buy in here. But the only bad thing is this DOM is going to be moving so fast. It's like, oh shit, where am I going to buy in at? Where am I going to buy in at? So that's why I like this here. it's, I'm willing to pay up to 5 cents, and that's all. So that's why I use that. Or if you want to use the traditional trading method, you can come here and say, okay, if it hits here, I'm just going to buy in at $1.65. You can come over here, type in whatever and set a limit order in too. You can also do it that way if you want. Um, and that's always an option too. I never thought of that. You can do a limit order up here and then do the same thing is actually drag it, and you could be watching this price. Like if I'm playing the orb, I could say, okay, I'm going to get in if it breaks, it looks like it's around that $1.68-ish area. So when the price is pushing up, even if it pushes up really quick, I can let go and it's going to buy me in at, no, because it's a limit order, and it'll probably buy me in. No, it should buy me in at wherever it's at. I think that's how that works. I don't know. It's another thing. I'll have to test it and see. Um, and then you don't have to do it this way. So that's basically how I have it set up, why I have it set up, and how I use it in that setup. So this is how you get to that setup. Well, actually, I guess I should close out of that. Why? All right. So what you have to do is be on the custom screen, which is that looks like a paintbrush. Come up here to the plus sign where it says new layout, and it basically says, pick a layout. If you want, you could pick, like me, I already have this saved, so I can just pick this and then change it to, Tesla or whatever. But I'm just going to go from scratch. So you just click on the blank layout, and it just gives you a blank screen. Up here's your quotes. It tells you what you want. First thing we'll do is we'll just add the Turbo Trader, which is active trader. We need two of those. Let me subtract that. So obviously the one's going to stay here on this side. We'll drag this one over here to this side. You can resize them and however you want. You just click on it. And, you can resize it and do whatever you want with it. And then you got that. You just right click on your screen and put new widget. And now I'm wanting the actual quotes. So it'll be, where's the quotes on here? There's no quotes. So you just hit all widgets. It pulls the screen back up, go to the quotes, and you want two charts. Just drag one chart here to the left. And I'm not going to, size it up properly right now. I'm just going to go through how to add everything. So since this screen's already up, we already added those two charts. Now we need to add the actual quotes. So we need two quotes, or three, because that's that middle section. Roughly, and we're going to shrink these up, but we're going to stack them here. Then we need the option chain. Where's options? I'm not sure if this is it here. Yeah. So we need two of those options. One's going over here on this side, and one goes over here on this side. And then once you get that, you can kind of, adjust it to how you want. So, okay, I'm going to adjust this here, here. These here, I'm just going to leave them where they're at now. But you can adjust them and shrink them however you want. Now to link all these up. So we'll start over here with the calls. Um, to link these calls, first you want to make sure that it's on calls. You see how it was on both? Like this over here is on both. You want to make sure it's on puts. And to link it, up here at this little minus sign, it says set as group. So we'll call, our calls are going to be group one, and make sure you set them, everything on this left side at group one. And then like here for the quotes, that'll be group one. Knowing that the puts is two, I'm going to set the bottom one as two. This one up here is two, two, and then that one is two. And like I said, to populate these charts, you just click on anything but the bid ask, and it's going to populate the chart and be ready. Populate that chart. Now you'll notice that up here, they're grayed out. So right now, it's actually set up to buy stock, not options. So what you have to do is go into the settings of this. And how you do that, you hit the hamburger, the three lines up here. I just call it hamburger. Pull up turbo settings. So here on the turbo settings, you'll notice where it says place stock order. You want to uncheck all the stock order. Scroll down and then place option orders. Here's what the ones you want to check. It's up to you. If you buy the bid or you want to try to get in at the bid price, you can click buy the bid. I usually have buy the ask. Um, like I said, buy market. I'm not sure if it works now, but because I've never added it again because it didn't work before. But you can always try it and see if we will let you buy in at market now. But it used to not allow you to buy in at market. Buy in at custom. And then here at the custom, over here to the right, you'll see, a bunch of numbers and stuff like that. What you can do here is set up a take profit order at 25 cents. Um, your offset here, you can have it set, like I have mine set to 5. It might be like 0 whenever you first set it up, or it might be something else. I set mine to 5 cents. Um, if you want a hotkey, I guess I used to have hotkeys set up, but I dropped my laptop off my lap one time when I went to grab it. It actually hit the hotkey and bought me in, and it was on the wrong side, so that sucked. So that really does suck. Up here for contracts, I think it really doesn't matter because on here when you make sure that that quantity setting set, that's when it'll buy you in there on that, and then just hit done, and it'll populate it. Now, obviously, I want to put the sell stuff on there too. So we'll go back to the turbo settings, scroll down to the option orders, and sell market. If you want to have a sell market actual button, you can. Sell the bid, sell the ask, or however you want to do that. Sell custom. You can do all that stuff too. And then however you want to set it up over here, if you want to, orders and all that kind of stuff, you can. Um, oh shit. And then on the bottom of that, over here, you want to make sure you have quantity checked, and you notice it says order confirmation. It's checked. You want to uncheck where it says order confirmation. So you don't want that. And if you want it to actually show up over here, kind of like this one is, that way you know that it's unchecked. You can have it here just saying show it, and it'll actually show it over there. Um, Under here, it says cancel all current stock. You don't have to worry about that unless you're trading stock. Close. You want close because that's your like panic, get the hell out of everything. If you're one of those people that reverses your position, you can click on that and add that button over there. If you're a person the flatten is basically like close. You're going to get out of everything. It's basically the same thing as close. So it's up to you, however you want to, add to it. I like having at least a close button, and I don't do the reverse. So, flatten. And then the working orders and position, it kind of gives you here. Like, say I got an order, but it's not filled yet, it'll let me know like 1 right here. And then position, it kind of gives you what position you're actually in also. But that'll show on this screen also up here. Because say you bought in, what's going to happen on this screen, you'll see you have a line here. That's your actual, it'll say POS. That's your point of sale. You'll have another line. I don't know how to change the color of those lines. Um, Click on it, maybe. Uh, oh well. But anyway, you'll have another line which will actually, this is the price chart here. You'll see the price going up, and then if you have that limit order like I do, you'll have another line up here. Uh, I can't remember what color the point of sale is. It might just be blue, darker blue. But so that way you know where you bought in, and obviously if it breaks down below there, it sucks. But if it pushes up to me, that's mine. I'll drag this down close to where okay, it's not going to break below that. So it kind of helps in that aspect of it. On these charts here, you can actually have it set up too that see there's an MA on it. I mean, this is the actual options chart, but you can actually plot MAs and see. I don't use them like that. I just take that off. But if you want that on there, how the hell do I take that damn thing off? Up here, right there, hit the X. You can take it off. I just have mine blank whenever I do it. Um, but again, it's up to you all. Oh, what else over here? You want to make sure that it's preset to whatever options you want. So obviously, Monday's the second, so you want this set up for the second. And then up here it says how many strike prices, out. If you want to go 10, 20, or that way it's just loaded up with that October. So there's no confusion. There's no way you can hit, different time frame. That's fine. But like I said, I always play the one that's right out of the money um, on that. Let's see if there's anything else on here. And that's basically it for setting this thing up. It's pretty simple. Yeah, hopefully that if mine doesn't work, I know Golf Pro said he's recording this, and so you can DM him. What I'll do with mine, if it actually picked up the audio and everything, I'll obviously gonna see if I have to cut anything out of it to shrink it down or whatever, and then I'll upload it to YouTube and I'll post a link in the video section of our Discord. But that's really it. Do you guys have any questions um, on anything? Like I said, the size here, it's up to you, however you want to resize that stuff. But so on my laptop, I have there's an external screen that connects to the back of my laptop, and it's like a sliding window. You slide it out, and it's about a 12-inch screen maybe. So it slides out. So for example, that's the one I'll have my Webull on is the slide out screen because it's not the greatest um, contrast and all that, but it's easy to make out these big buttons and stuff. Because I could care less about these numbers here. All I know is I'm buying in here at the price that's first out of the money, and these buttons I need to be able to see these. On my actual laptop screen is my trading view chart because it's really good quality, and I can see the chart really well. So I'm watching the chart on my laptop, and then on that external screen is where I'll have to buy it. So yeah, I actually have to have two separate screens. Now you could shrink this thing up and do this, but I'll show you here in a minute the problem with that. So you see how this really shrunk up the options. You have to kind of line it your cursor up a certain way to that way you could scroll over and say, okay, I want the puts. But if you know specifically, hey, I'm going to buy. It looks like I'm getting calls. You can have your calls set up here, and shrink this. Uh, Oops, wrong one. Why can't I shrink that? I can expand it. I guess that's all the further that one will shrink. um, and then have this chart set up. I mean, you can even drag this in over a little bit more, but you can still see the obviously the screen, your your chart here. So worst case scenario, I'd have this screen up here, this screen here, so I could see both of them. But yeah, uh, you can do that, but that's almost like doing slippage. Um, uh, at -1, you're almost setting yourself up for, with that. Like I said, it's up to you. You can offset it however you want. But for me, if the price is moving down and you're hitting -1, you're already giving you that -1 on slippage, right? So, you might as well just have a stop loss because it's just going to be an extra penny if you're willing to lose that -1 and then drag the stop loss up to, as you're going. If you're willing to already lose, a dollar, so to speak, per contract. Or is that actually it's $10 or I can't remember. Yeah, it'd be a dollar, right? If it's 01. Um, but if you're playing 5 contracts, it's $5 right there that you're losing. So by doing it, I mean, if you can't watch the chart, obviously set a stop loss up. And if you can't do this drag like a limit order here and drag, that it just to me it seems to be the better feel because it's selling you out at whatever that current price is. That's what it's going to do. No problem, Trav. So it took me a while to get this. I had this now for over a year set up like this, and this has been the best setup I found. I wonder if I have different settings here. Let me see. All right, so this one here was my. This was one of my original setups that I had. This is the actual SPY chart up here, I think. Yeah, this is a SPY chart. These two little mini charts was obviously calls on the right side or left side. Oops, how did I set this up? Because I was able to get puts over here. Um, Shit. I couldn't remember how I had my put table over here. I think I actually had a different chart set up, and but anywho, or no, actually, I don't think I did. I don't know why I have that, but I think this was just supposed to be. Get rid of this chart here if I can. Can't drag this over. But originally, I think this thing was all filled with just like a call or a put. So if I wanted to buy put, but here's where I fell into that. I accidentally would buy, a put instead of a call because I didn't realize, I had, the put highlighted already. And I just come up here because I'm so intense. I'm watching the chart, like, okay, yeah, it's moving up. All right, I'm gonna get in here, not realizing I had that, and I did. Okay, I'm buying it. Boom. I'm like, okay, okay, what the fuck, man? What the price is going down? No, that's bullshit. And I look, oh shit, and I'd have to hurry and get out, or I'd turn into a Holden Hoper and be like, oh screw it, it'll come back, and it kind of screwed me. So that's why I kind of went away from this, the way this setup is to this setup over here to where I was like, okay, there's no, if I'm over here, I know I'm looking for a put or a call, and I'm over here, I know I'm looking for a put. So, but yeah, I had different setups that I've went through before I got settled on that one. Let's see. I think this is another one. So yeah, this is another setup I had. So I've tried so many different ones to see which one I like the best. And by far, that the first one I explained to you guys is the easiest one to do. Here's another one. Um, yeah, all right. This is the one I used right before I switched over to that one. It was something like this, which was similar, but it just still same thing. I didn't like, accidentally doing all this kind of stuff. Um, but yeah. So when I usually settle on something and I show you guys, normally I've tested something out or I went through, the hardships, so to speak, of learning the hard way and found something that worked great for me. And that's why I share it with you guys. Say, hey, this is what works for me really good. You can always try it. And if it doesn't, you can rearrange these windows and set it up however you want. I just found that this works the best for me. And if it can help you guys out, great. If, like I said, if it sparks a different um, setup in your mind, and you're like, you know what, this might even be cooler. By all means, share it because I'll be like, hell yeah, man, I like that way too, and it's better than what I'm doing. So, I mean, we're all here to share and help each other out. But yeah, any questions, concern, or not concerned, but on how to set it up? I think I kind of really walked through the setup process, through the blank screen on how to set it up. So I really hope this thing records. Now I do have a YouTube video of it. I'm not sure how, because it's been over a year since I made it, but it's basically the same thing. I think I walked through doing the same thing, like the how to set up on a blank screen too. Um, but I'm not 100% certain. Let me find it and I'll link it here. That way, if hopefully it does, but like I said, I'm not 100% whether it does or doesn't. So I gotta get in my videos, and I think it's called Best Webull Setup. Yeah, here's like I said, I'm not sure if I walk through it in detail like I just did, but I may have. But yeah, anything else? If not, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. Because I'm gonna help somebody DM me, and we're gonna do a quick chat here. He's wanting some help with something. Like I said, if you need any help with like this kind of setup or anything else, feel free to just DM me and we'll try to set something up to where, I'm available and you're available and we can walk through, either this setup or trade plan or whatever you want. Um, I'm always trying to be available for you guys. But, I appreciate you guys hanging on a Sunday and um, you know, hopefully you learned something from it and picked something up. Oh no, I'm not the boss. That's Jimmy, man. He's definitely the boss. And he's a great boss. He's been great. So y'all take care and good luck trading tomorrow. I'll be able to trade tomorrow. I should be able to.